Have you ever wondered how sexuality changes as we age, and why it's still an important part of our lives, even in our 70s and beyond? In this video, we're going to dive deep into a topic that is rarely discussed, but incredibly important: the evolving role of masturbation in older men and how it affects both physical and emotional well-being. As we age, our bodies and minds go through changes, but that doesn't mean the need for intimacy and connection fades away. By watching this video, you will discover why masturbation can be more than just a physical act. It can be a powerful tool for coping with loneliness and stress and maintaining a sense of vitality. We'll also explore the hidden risks of relying on this habit too much and how it might impact relationships, self-esteem, and overall life satisfaction. Stay with us until the end to learn how older men can find a balance between solo pleasure and shared intimacy with a partner, ensuring that sexual energy remains a healthy and enriching part of life. You won't want to miss the insights we'll share about maintaining sexual health and emotional connection as we age, and how it can drastically improve the quality of your life in ways you may not have considered before. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Sexuality is an integral part of our human experience, and rather than fading with age, it transforms, deepening in ways that reflect the complexity and richness of our evolving identities. This change invites us to explore and understand our desires, our bodies, and our emotions more profoundly. In this light, masturbation, even in later stages of life, remains a natural, healthy, and for many, a vital expression of self-care. It's a common misconception that masturbation is an activity reserved for the young or for those who lack a partner. On the contrary, men over the age of 70 often engage in this practice for reasons that extend well beyond the pursuit of mere physical pleasure. At this stage, masturbation can become a powerful way to reconnect with one's aging body, manage feelings of loneliness, and alleviate stress, while also keeping one's sexual life vibrant and meaningful. For older men, especially those in their 70s and beyond, masturbation takes on a new significance. It's no longer just a simple physical act of release. Instead, it can be a moment of deep introspection, a quiet, private ritual that allows them to stay connected to their bodies in ways they might not otherwise experience. As the body changes with age, so too does the way we experience pleasure and intimacy. Masturbation offers men the opportunity to explore these changes in a space that feels safe and comforting. It becomes a personal way of rediscovering pleasure, and in many cases, it helps to maintain a sense of vitality that can be easily lost in the face of life's inevitable transitions. In the later stages of life, many men face significant emotional challenges. Some losses come with aging, retirement, a decrease in physical abilities, or the death of a spouse. These life events can bring about a sense of isolation, sadness, or even anxiety. For some, masturbation becomes a form of emotional escape, a way to momentarily set aside the heavy feelings that accompany these losses. In this context, masturbation can act as an emotional anchor, a method of coping with a profound sense of change and loss that often comes with getting older. It's important to acknowledge that while masturbation can be a healthy and beneficial practice, there's a need to recognize when it becomes more of a coping mechanism than an act of self-love. For men who find themselves masturbating daily, the question arises, is it simply a form of physical pleasure, or is it being used to avoid deeper emotional issues? When masturbation becomes a routine part of daily life, it's worth exploring what role it is playing. Could it be filling a void, a need for intimacy or connection that isn't being met in other areas of life? Or perhaps it's being used as a distraction from feelings of loneliness, grief, or anxiety that have gone unaddressed. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. According to the American Psychological Association, maintaining sexual activity in old age is associated with a lower risk of developing mental health issues, such as depression and anxiety. Sexuality, after all, isn't just about physical pleasure. It's about feeling alive, connected, and engaged with one's own body and desires. Masturbation, when viewed through this lens, can be a form of self-care, a way to release tension, reduce stress, and stay in touch with the sexual energy that still flows, even in later years. However, daily masturbation can have a more complex emotional impact, especially if it becomes a substitute for deeper emotional connections, or if it starts to interfere with a man's relationship with his partner. In relationships, particularly for older couples, shared intimacy often becomes more about emotional connection than physical pleasure alone. When a man turns to masturbation as his primary source of sexual expression, it can create an emotional distance between him and his partner. The repetitive nature of daily masturbation can, in some cases, lead to a psychological dependency. When this happens, it may become harder to engage in meaningful, shared intimacy with a partner. It's not that masturbation itself is harmful, but when it becomes a way of avoiding other emotional challenges, such as resolving conflicts or seeking emotional closeness with a partner, it can create barriers to deeper connection. For men who use masturbation as a means of avoiding difficult emotions, it's essential to ask some tough questions. Are they truly seeking physical pleasure, or are they using the act to numb themselves to feelings they'd rather not face? Are they avoiding important conversations with their partner, or are they retreating from the emotional vulnerability that comes with intimacy? Masturbation, while a natural and healthy activity, should not become a crutch that keeps someone from addressing the deeper issues in their life. In some cases, masturbation can also serve as a reminder of the loneliness that often accompanies aging. For men who have lost a partner or who feel disconnected from others, masturbation might be the only way they feel able to express their sexual selves. While there's nothing inherently wrong with this, it's crucial to balance it with other forms of emotional and social connection. Reaching out to loved ones, engaging in meaningful activities, and finding new ways to connect with others emotionally can all contribute to a richer, more fulfilling life. Ultimately, masturbation in old age can be a beautiful and life-affirming act, a way to stay connected to oneself and to the world of pleasure and desire. But like all things, it must be approached with balance and mindfulness. If a man finds that daily masturbation is becoming an escape from the challenges of life, it may be time to consider whether there are deeper issues that need attention. Are there emotional wounds that need healing? Are there unspoken needs for connection and intimacy that are being ignored? By answering these questions honestly, older men can find a more balanced and emotionally fulfilling approach to their sexual lives, one that honors both their physical needs and their emotional well-being. It's important to remember that sexuality does not have an expiration date. With age comes the opportunity to explore new dimensions of intimacy, both with oneself and with a partner. Masturbation, when understood in its full emotional and physical context, can be a powerful tool for maintaining a healthy, vibrant sense of self. But it should never become a replacement for the deep, meaningful connections that bring true emotional fulfillment. The key is to remain open, aware, and willing to engage with both the pleasures and the challenges that come with aging, finding new ways to connect not only with our bodies, but with our hearts and minds as well. When it comes to romantic relationships, it's crucial to remember that sexuality encompasses far more than just physical satisfaction. At its core, it's about creating and maintaining a profound emotional connection, a bond that breathes life into the relationship, fostering closeness, trust, and intimacy. This emotional connection is what makes a romantic partnership thrive, especially as couples grow older and face the inevitable challenges that come with aging. But when an older man turns to masturbation repeatedly, it can introduce a subtle but powerful sense of disconnection into the relationship. What was once a shared, intimate experience can start to feel solitary and distant. His partner, who likely yearns for that connection, may begin to feel excluded from this intimate space that should belong to both of them. She may internalize these feelings, believing that his solitary actions are a reflection of disinterest or, worse, dissatisfaction with her as a partner. This emotional fallout can be devastating, especially for a woman who may already be grappling with her insecurities about aging and desirability. When she sees her partner turning to masturbation rather than engaging with her, it can feel like a form of rejection. The intimate bond that was once so strong begins to weaken, and doubts can creep in. She may start to wonder, am I not attractive anymore? Am I not enough? Does he not desire me the way he used to? These painful questions can deeply affect her self-esteem and sense of worth, leading to emotional distance and even resentment. What may have started as a simple, personal habit can snowball into a much larger issue that affects the entire dynamic of the relationship. For many men over the age of 70, the challenges of aging bring about changes in sexual desire and function. It's common to experience a decrease in libido or difficulty achieving and maintaining an erection. In these situations, masturbation can feel like the easier, more comfortable option. It's less emotionally vulnerable, less physically demanding, and doesn't carry the pressure of satisfying a partner. There's no fear of criticism or judgment when it's done privately, which can be especially appealing to a man who might already be feeling insecure about his changing body or sexual performance. But while it might feel like a safer route at the moment, it can come at a great emotional cost to both partners. Sexual intimacy is not just about physical pleasure. It's about connection, communication, and mutual satisfaction. Engaging in shared intimacy, despite the challenges, allows couples to maintain that close bond that is so essential to long-term happiness. Physical closeness often mirrors emotional closeness, and by choosing to withdraw from shared sexual experiences, a man risks creating a chasm in the relationship that can be difficult to bridge. In contrast, studies from prestigious institutions like Harvard University have shown that older men who maintain an active sexual life with their partner tend to experience not only greater satisfaction in their relationships, but also a higher quality of life overall. These men often report feeling more fulfilled, both emotionally and physically, and they tend to have stronger, more resilient relationships as a result. From a purely medical perspective, frequent masturbation in old age is not necessarily harmful. It can provide certain health benefits, such as promoting healthy blood circulation and maintaining the health of the reproductive system. For some men, especially those who have difficulty engaging in regular sexual activity with a partner, masturbation may offer a way to relieve sexual tension and maintain sexual health. However, as with anything, moderation is key. While occasional masturbation can be beneficial, daily ejaculation can lead to feelings of fatigue and physical exhaustion, especially for older men who may already struggle with low energy levels and slower recovery times. Moreover, the constant stimulation of the sexual organs can lead to irritation, particularly in older men whose skin may be more sensitive due to the natural aging process. Irritations can cause discomfort, which may, in turn, discourage physical intimacy with a partner. It's important to note that while masturbation itself may not be harmful, its impact on a relationship can be profound. A habit that starts as a personal preference can gradually erode the emotional and physical connection that couples have spent years or even decades building together. When one partner feels left out or rejected, it can lead to emotional distance, misunderstandings, and eventually a communication breakdown. The partner who is left out may feel unloved, undesired, and disconnected, which can create tension in other areas of the relationship as well. For couples navigating the complexities of aging and sexuality, open and honest communication is essential. If a man is struggling with his sexual function or desire, he needs to talk to his partner about what he's experiencing. Likewise, if a woman is feeling disconnected or rejected, she should feel empowered to express her feelings and concerns. Together, they can work on finding solutions that allow them to maintain their intimacy in a way that works for both of them. Whether that means exploring new forms of physical intimacy that are less demanding, or simply prioritizing emotional closeness, there are countless ways to keep the relationship strong and fulfilling, even in the face of sexual challenges. At the end of the day, intimacy is about more than just sex. It's about connection, vulnerability, and love. It's the tender moments of holding hands, the quiet conversations in bed, and the shared memories that create the foundation of a lasting relationship. By prioritizing that connection and keeping the lines of communication open, couples can navigate the challenges of aging with grace and continue to find joy, satisfaction, and love in each other's company. As a man enters his 70s, it's undeniable that his body undergoes significant changes. The vitality and energy that once defined his youth begin to evolve, and although sexual energy persists, the rhythm of his physical responses starts to slow down. This is a natural part of aging, but it doesn't diminish the importance of sexuality in his life. Sexual desire is not something that simply vanishes with age, and many men in their later years still crave the pleasure and intimacy that come with a healthy sexual life. However, the way that sexual energy manifests and how it is sustained changes over time. For a man in his 70s, daily masturbation can be an easy and pleasurable outlet for sexual expression, providing a sense of relief and comfort. It's a way to stay connected with his body and his desire. But while masturbation can offer immediate physical satisfaction over time, it carries the risk of becoming more of a mechanical habit than a source of genuine enjoyment. What was once an act of deep pleasure may gradually become routine, lacking the same emotional depth or spark that it once had. This transition is often subtle, creeping up slowly until the man may not even realize that something is missing from his sexual life. The issue isn't with masturbation itself, but rather with the risk of it becoming a man's sole avenue for experiencing sexuality. When this happens, there is a danger of narrowing the scope of sexual expression, confining it to solitary pleasure while missing out on the richness of shared intimacy. Physical pleasure is important, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. The emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects of sexuality can offer far more than what can be achieved through daily solo activities. From a deeply personal standpoint, it's essential to recognize the value of balancing self-pleasure with experiences that foster connection and intimacy with others. There's something profoundly human about sharing a touch, a kiss, or even a quiet moment of vulnerability with another person. The warmth of a partner's embrace, the softness of their skin, or the comfort of simply holding hands can provide a kind of fulfillment that no amount of solo pleasure can replicate. These shared moments are what make sexuality more than just a physical act. They infuse it with meaning, connection, and emotional resonance. For a 70-year-old man who masturbates every day, the the future may hold both benefits and challenges. Physically, staying sexually active can be beneficial. It keeps the body in tune with its desires, stimulates the brain, and can contribute to overall well-being. No doubt maintaining a regular sexual outlet, even through masturbation, has its positive effects. However, there's a deeper question to consider. Is this daily act of pleasure bringing true joy, or is it becoming a repetitive routine that, over time, diminishes the ability to connect with others? The real challenge lies in finding balance. While solo pleasure can be a healthy and natural part of sexual expression, it shouldn't overshadow the potential for shared experiences. When masturbation becomes the only form of sexual activity, a man may find himself drifting into emotional isolation, slowly detaching from the deeper connections that make sexuality fulfilling. The risk here isn't just about a decline in libido. It's about losing the emotional richness that comes from intimacy with a partner. A life without shared affection, without the tender moments that come from being close to someone else, can feel empty, even if the physical needs are being met. If you're still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. This is where holistic approaches to sexuality become invaluable. For a man over 70, it's important to nurture sexual energy in a way that goes beyond the purely physical. Practices like yoga and meditation offer a more integrated approach to well-being, helping to balance the body's sexual energy with emotional and mental clarity. Aerobic exercise, too, can enhance sexual vitality by improving circulation and overall health, making it easier to sustain a fulfilling sex life, whether solo or shared. The future for an older man who takes care of both his body and his emotional needs can be bright. By embracing a more varied sexual life, where masturbation is part of a broader tapestry of intimate experiences, he can continue to enjoy the benefits of sexual expression well into his later years. The key is not to let solo pleasure replace the beauty of shared intimacy. Relationships, even casual or long-term, offer a depth of connection that goes far beyond what masturbation can provide. The warmth of another's touch, the shared experience of passion, and even the simple joy of a caress are irreplaceable. It's also important to acknowledge that every man's sexual needs are different. Some may find deep fulfillment in solo activities, while others may crave the connection that comes with a partner. What remains constant is the importance of respecting the body's wisdom. As we age, the body teaches us to approach sexuality in more conscious and intentional ways. It encourages us to slow down, savor the moments, and find joy in both the physical and emotional aspects of intimacy. Sexuality in old age is a topic that many shy away from, but it deserves more open, respectful conversations. There's no one right way to experience sexuality, especially as we grow older. The beauty of aging is that it offers new perspectives on pleasure, intimacy, and connection. For a man in his 70s, the journey of exploring these changes can be incredibly fulfilling, as long as he is mindful of maintaining a balance between solo pleasure and shared affection. In the end, what matters most is not just the act itself, but the joy, connection, and love it brings into his life, both for himself and for those he chooses to share it with. As we wrap up this important conversation, it's clear that sexuality in our later years is not just about the physical act. It's about balance, connection, and embracing the wisdom of our bodies. Whether it's through solo pleasure or shared intimacy, our experiences can continue to be rich and fulfilling as long as we approach them with mindfulness and care. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What have you learned from today's discussion? What's one thing you plan to bring into practice in your life moving forward? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to continue the conversation. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a comment and please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insightful content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.